Hello and welcome to MeowMix, a Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Jerry. Unfortunately, Steven is busy at work for the first win of the season. It happened. It happened. We won. Woo! It took it to the last seconds, but the Panthers finally pulled off a victory, beating the Houston Texans 13-15. Lot to clean up, but let's just soak it in. Soak it in. We won a game. Bryce looked good. Icky horrible, but we won. We won. We finally got off the mat there. We will not be 0-17. We have the win. We're 1-6. Bryce Young outdueled CJ Stroud. Realistically, this was a defensive game, I know, but all the spotlight's going to be on the two rookie quarterbacks and Will Anderson. But man, it felt good to get a W. This has been the most excited I've been for a Panthers game in so long. I was on the edge of my seat at the end. I was, especially with those, false star or offsides. I thought, why did they not call the first one offsides whistle dead, but the second one they didn't when he actually got blocked a little bit and he made it. So I was like, well, that should be the end, right? Nope, not at all. They decided to keep going and try it again. Thankfully, Panero makes up for his missed extra point and kicked the game-winning field goal. Real quickly, guys, did anybody else have a heart attack? Because I did. I felt like I did. I was out there sweating bullets down there. Oh, man. This team has a lot to work on. But we've got the win. Quickly, we want to thank our sponsor, Magic Mind. I don't have their information right now, but, check them out at magicmind.com, I believe it is, /meow. But, yeah, thank you for them. Let's jump into keys of the game. Real quickly, usually we do about 3 or 4. We haven't been doing it this year just because it's so depressing. But this week, we get to do it. And Steven will probably be back tomorrow. I think we're going to do another recap just because he wants to. Why would you not want to recap the first win, especially how horrible we've looked? Thomas Brown's play calling really, I think, helped out. I still has some issues that I'll get to in my overview, but whew. Keys plays of the game. Starting out, 4th and 2 at Houston's second. Panthers down by 7:46 in the second quarter. Bryce Young pass incomplete left to Adam Thielen. Oh, this was a heartbreaker. I thought we were at least going to tie the game here and just right within the 5-yard line, and we could not get anything going. We could not get the ball in there. I was like, oh no, this is how it's going to end. But luckily, the defense showed up, forced the ball back, and our second key play of the game, 3:06, second quarter, 1st and 10 at Houston 38. Houston up 7-0. Bryce Young, deep middle to DJ Shark to Houston's 18 for a 20-yard gain, and I felt like right there, at least we're going to get the 3 points. Nope, we got the 7. It was a short little pass to Trimble, and it was awesome. We had a tight end touchdown. Good job, guys. Oh, man, that was so much. So we needed that so much, and I think, if anything, that play really helped this team kind of get back into the fighting spirits. Now, third key play of the game, 2nd and 7, 10:04 in the third quarter. Carolina up 7-9. CJ Stroud pass short left to Beck, and DJ Jackson just punched that ball out while he was in the midst of tackling Xavier Woods, jumping on the ball, getting it back, and then they got another field goal off it to get 12-7. Great job. Honestly, anybody in the secondary, I think, did a great job today. I mean, CJ Henderson, Stroud has been amazing this year. He's looked really good, and the Panthers defense really kind of shut him down. Something that they haven't been able to do recently. Before the bye, they were kind of laying over, but they look good today. I mean, I'm going to call a couple players out. I think Brian Burns had a really good game. Derek Brown, Deshaun Williams, Frankie Louvu dominated. I mean, I can't even say enough of that. I know his parents were in the stands and stuff like that. First time they've seen him play an NFL game. Hats off to him, man. That has to be a great feeling to have such a dominant performance out there. If he wasn't out there, I don't think the Panthers are in this game. I don't know how many passes he tipped, but it felt like 3 or 4. And by the way, Bryce Young had 1 tip pass, and CJ Stroud had like 4 or 5. So the height wasn't the problem with the tip passes this week. I mean, all those naysayers at the beginning in the draft and stuff like that, yeah, the shortness didn't bother on the tip passes. I will say CJ Stroud looked good. I don't think he looked bad. I think he looked as accurate as I thought he did. I mean, that guy, if you give him time, he can pick you apart. Luckily, the Panthers defense didn't do that. And our last key play of the game, everybody knows what it is. First and goal at Houston 5. Houston up 13-2. 0 seconds on the clock. Eddie Pinheiro makes up for his missed extra point. 23-yard field goal. Good. Panthers win. Walk-off kick. It's good. We're going. Bye. That's all we got to say. Hey, we needed this win. I know Houston Texans fans are disappointed, and I commend you. The Houston Texans are a formidable team this year, and they have a chance at the AFC South title, I think. Panthers, we need to get off the mat. So, real quickly, we're going to go ahead and hit the stats page here. Guys, I know I'm saying this a lot. I'm so excited about this win. It also might be the fact that I don't have my daughter tonight. So, she's with her parents at watching the Paw Patrol live, and I get to watch football the rest of the day. Woo! Or if the wife wants something a little bit more fun, adult. So let's look at the quarterback and player stats real quickly. Hitting on Houston, CJ Stroud, 16-24, 140. I don't think he looked bad. I think the defense just swarmed him. 5.8 average, and he had 2 sacks for 21 yards. And that's how you have to play him. You have to hit CJ Stroud. You have to get in his face. And that's with most quarterbacks. Dameon Pierce, 12 for 46. I didn't think he did that good, but 46 yards was more than I thought. 3.8 average. Singletary, 10 for 30. Again, I didn't think they were really getting much on the ground, but overall they had 30 rushes, 110 yards, which 30 rushes to 24 passes, you take that. That's typically a win. And that's how I think you need to play with a rookie quarterback. Receiving. They have a lot of receiving threats here with Nico Collins, Tank Dell. I know Robert Woods wasn't in today, but Noah Brown led them with 3 receptions, 57 yards. Then Nico Collins, 4 for 30. Tank Dell, 3 for 16. Devin Singletary, 2 for 13. Again, I think the secondary did a great job holding them down to, 140 yards passing. After the sacks, I think it's 119. CJ Stroud has been setting records this year. That's a great defensive performance, in my opinion. Now, Andrew Beck was the one player that was stripped by Dante Jackson. So, he had the fumble. On defense, Denzel Perryman had led all Texans with 9 tackles, half a sack, 1 tackle for loss, and an extra QB hit. Shaquille Griffin 8 tackles. Jimmy Ward, 8 tackles, 1 pass deflection. Tavaria Thomas, 7 tackles. I mean, Malik Collins, Jonathan Greenard, 2 sacks and 2.5. Boy, they kept Bryce Young down. They kept pressuring him. Blake Cashman had a good game. 5 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 1 QB hit. I mean, oh, man. People are talking about Bryce Young not able to, take hits and stuff and survive. He had 10 quarterback hits this game. He was sacked 6 times. I know it's a celebratory Panthers win. That O-line really needs to show back up. That they need to protect him better. I think Thomas Brown called a better game than Frank Reich has. He got the calls in there without, 2 seconds left. I felt like that was a big benefit to Bryce. But we need to run the ball. We need to protect Bryce, and the passing constantly is just not it. So going to Bryce, 31 passes, 22 of 31, 235 and a touchdown, sacked 6 times for 55 yards. Rushing, overall, we had 35, the Panthers had 35 pass plays called and only 20 running plays. And the Panthers on that fourth quarter drive could have ran the ball. The last few were just up the middles to bleed the clock, but they had options to do a halfback delay or something like that to move the ball too. But they just, I'm not quite understanding their philosophy. Chuba, I love you, but you didn't have the greatest game either. 15 for 28, but I felt like he was making it important, like good plays when it counted, and it was just like they didn't seem to give him the ball in times when he could succeed. Raheem Blackshear, 3 for 5. Bryce Young had 4 scrambles for 11 yards. Miles Sanders, get used to the pine. 2 carries, 0 yards. I mean, he did nothing. I felt like anytime he was out there, I felt like it was a failure. Even if it wasn't him. I think Chuba's the bell cow back now in this Young. I think Blackshear has a role, as we'll discuss in the receiving. But Chuba, it's your job. I did lose a beer bet, which I'll discuss later on. I thought Miles Sanders would still get the start, but he did not. Chuba got the start, rightfully so. Moving on to receiving, Adam Thielen, 8 receptions, 72 yards, no touchdowns, but I mean, dude, Thielen is the engine of this offense right now. Everything goes through Thielen. I am scared if he ever gets hurt. Because that guy is just money. That 4th down that he caught, that thank God Sanders dropped his hands, because otherwise, I would be cursing his name worse than I already do. But yes, Adam Thielen, I am so glad you're a Carolina Panther. You have been dominant this year and look dominant. Jonathan Mingo, 4 receptions, 62 yards on 5 attempts. That one attempt was a easy first down and dropped. In my personal chat with Steven, I called him out saying I think he's going to be a bust, but he came back and looked really good. So, okay, my apologies. He needs to get his hands better, though. I will say that. That's not his first drop like that where no one's around. Chuba Hubbard, 2 for 26 on 2 targets. Raheem Blackshear, 2 for 26 on 2 targets, 19 long. I mean, again, I think he has can be used in this offense. DJ Shark, 2 for 23, 2 targets, or 4 targets, I'm sorry. Let's do something different with him. Let's try some end rounds. Let's try some screens, because we need to get him involved in this offense. Steven Sullivan's going to be the last person I talk about, just because he never gets targeted. 1 reception, 23 yards or 13 yards. Oh, sorry. Tommy Trimble, 2 catches, 4 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, he got the only touchdown, so I have to call it that. Hayden Hurst, 2 targets, nothing. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know what's happened to Hayden Hurst. We thought that free agent signing was great. He hasn't really played great, though. So, now on defense, the man of the hour, in my opinion, Frankie Louvu, 12 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, and an extra QB hit on there. You balled out, boy. You balled out. And those plays, those pass deflections were key plays. Great job. Xavier Woods, 8 tackles. So glad that he's back. Jamie Robinson, 6 tackles. Didn't realize he was out there that much, but I mean, if I didn't notice that, that means you probably did a great job in the secondary. Dante Jackson, 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and that huge forced fumble. CJ Henderson, there was an opportunity that you could get burnt like you normally do, but hey, he didn't make it. He didn't make the play, so good job. 5 tackles. Derek Brown, another great performance by you. 5 total tackles, 2 solo, 1 pass deflection. Man, our D-line, man, they were getting their hands up today. DJ Johnson, good play. 3 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I mean, as someone I haven't seen play that much, looked good. Troy Hill, 3 tackles. LeBray Ray, 3 tackles. Deshaun Williams, 3 tackles. 1 pass deflection. I mean, some of these guys, I'm really shocked. I'm saying they're just popping up and making big plays. I'm like, oh, they doesn't look like they played much, but hey, good job. Deion Jones, 3 tackles. Mathis Farley, 2 tackles. Sam Franklin, 2 tackles. He had 1 really bad missed tackle. Shai Tuttle, 2. Amari Barno, 2 tackles. Brian Burns, wow, man, you only had 1 tackle. Brian Burns, you have to learn how to wrap up a little bit better on running backs. 1 tackle, 1 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and an extra QB hit. So, Justin Houston, 1 tackle. I'm not seeing anybody else. Wow. Eddie Pinheiro, 3 for 3 on field goals, and that 1 missed extra point. Whew! Man, I am so excited. This is hard doing solo, too, especially when you're all pumped up on a win. Once I get the new computer, we'll be doing this live, and I can talk back and forth to the listeners, and it'll be a little bit more fun. But we're going to go ahead and jump into the team stats. First down, Panthers had 20 first downs. 20 first downs. We moved the ball. The Texans have been known to give up yardage, but not scores. So, for an offense that has struggled just moving the ball, this was a nice change of pace. 11 passing first downs, 3 rushing. Defense, on the other hand, gave up 16 total first downs, 10 passing, 6 rushing. We also got 6 from penalties. I will say, the start of the game, the penalties were awful for the Panthers. Really put themselves in a hole, but they shorted up. Couple iffy calls in the fourth quarter. I don't agree with that pass interference, but he did kind of get held, so it helped the Panthers. I'll say that. Third down efficiency, Texans 5 for 12, Panthers 5 for 14. Fourth down, Panthers were 1 for 2, while Houston was 1 for 1. Total plays overall, 61 for Carolina, 56 for Houston. Total yards, 229 by Houston, 224 for Panthers. This was a defensive game, guys, even though it was the top 2 quarterbacks in the draft coming at it. I'm skipping that. Again, rushing yards, only 1.8 yards per attempt. And like I said, it just doesn't feel that way. Again, penalties really cost Houston here. 10 for 70, while Panthers had 3 for 20, and I felt like most of those were in the first quarter. They kind of strengthened up. Time of possession, 30 minutes to Houston, 29. It was a pretty evenly game. I mean, the score indicates that and everything else. So, yeah. Yeah. We did it. We're off the mat. We're 1-6, but we're off the mat. We needed this win to kind of go into. I think we have Chicago and a couple other winnable games, so get some momentum, iron out some kinks and everything. Um, Man, feels good to get a win. I was very excited about this. Excuse me. Thomas Brown. I did like some of the play calls. The biggest thing I liked was the simple fact that the calls were getting in there a lot faster. It also felt like he didn't go to the same play over and over again that Frank Reich was doing. It felt like, hey, even though there's run plays or there's a lot of pass plays, they were different. They got in there quicker. They gave Bryce time to read the defense a little bit more, maybe make it a substitution. I mean, look who caught passes. Just look at the people who caught passes. 8 for Adam Thielen. I mean, 22. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 targets. 9 different players got targeted. So, I mean, he spreads the ball around. I think Thomas Brown likes that, and I like the direction that they are going with. I do think running the ball with Chuba a little bit better. I think the O-line, especially Icky, they need to help him out. I don't know if it's keeping a tight end in there and blocking for him. I don't know. But for the most part, we need to do something. Because six sacks is not good. You can't survive. I don't care he's 5'10", 5'11". Any quarterback getting hit, 6 sacks a game, or how many QB hits he got, 10 QB hits a game, is probably going to get injured. It's just, you can't let him get hit like that. Overall, over and over and over again, I mean, you've got to protect him better. I'm really looking at Icky here because I felt like he gave up at least 2 of those sacks, and there was more where he gave up a sack, but Bryce Young escaped. His escapability was on display today, and that was nice. I still think they should let him run a little bit more. Those 4th down, I think there was a 3rd and 1 or 2 on the goal line. I think if he would have done an option and get Bryce to the outside, I think he could have scored that. Bryce is not slow. I mean, yeah, he's a smaller guy, but you got to give him options to do stuff. So, overall, it's just glad to get a win, guys. I know I repeat that over and over again, but congratulations, Houston Texans. You got a good team there. Yeah, I really like your team. I'll be cheering for you when I watch you. But other than that, I will take a short break to get some water and be right back after a short message. Have you ever been working and in the middle of the day you get really sluggish? I know I have. And honestly, our new sponsor, Magic Mind, has helped me greatly with that. It's a little shot in the morning you take it with the regular caffeine, and then throughout the day you stay energized. It doesn't give you the jitteries like the other energy drinks or anything else. For me, it was this constant energy. I didn't need a nap in the middle of the day, especially when you're at work. You can't do that. But it was really good. Coffee alone really wasn't doing it for me, or any type of caffeine. Like I said before, I typically drink caffeinated lemonades. But oh man, this stuff has helped me out, especially being a parent and coaching soccer and everything else. This has really helped me take the crash out of my day. So try it out. I'm trying to find the page here. This is tough by myself. Go to magicmind.com/meow. Enter code meow20 and you get 6% off a subscription for 10 days with this code, or 20% off for a one-time purchase. I know I am already signing up for the subscription. Like I said, my wife has already tried to steal it from me because she sees the difference. Real quickly, it has all natural ingredients: maca, bokapa, Monereal, I guys, you know how horrible I say football players' names. These names are the same, but they're all natural. Lion's mane mushrooms, cordyceps mushrooms. Again, that is www.magicmind.com/meow. Promo code meow20. You get 20% off a one-time order. Try it. Try it. Go 3 days. 3 days, and you'll notice a difference. I promise you, it happened with me. Try it again. All right. Again, www.magicmind.com/meow. Promo code meow20. And we are back. We're going to go ahead and quickly hit our beer bet of the week. It was a beer bet was who would start, Chuba or Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders ride the pine. Chuba Hubbard got the start, rightfully so. Steven, hats off. You won that one. And forward prediction results. I picked the Panthers to lose 21-17, while Steven had like 31-7, but he did have the Panthers winning, so hats off to you. You're all about the winning today, except for stuck at work. That sucks. Heroes and zeros. My hero, Frankie Louvu. I think this win would not be without you. I think Bryce Young stood in the pocket, looked good. But that being said, the defense really won this game for the Panthers. Frankie Louvu led the charge. I mean, he balled out. Zeros. I hate giving a 0 on the first win. Usually I won't do it, but man, that O-line looks so bad. And especially Icky. Icky, dude. I love you. I want you to be our left tackle in the future. But with that being said, you have got to start balling out better. You have to. It's looking bad. There was a play where you just got lost, stood, blocked no one, and you let a free pass rusher straight at Bryce Young. Chuba had a good block, and at least he got in the way. You did not a few times, and I don't know what needs to happen, if they need to set somebody up to block alongside you to give you help, but we cannot let Bryce take those hits. So, Icky, you got my 0. Heroes, again, Frankie Louvu. That whole defense, that D-line looked great. Pressuring C.J. Stroud, even though only 2 sacks, I felt like he rushed a lot of his passes because of that, and that's how you get to him. Moving on to the NFC South games. Panthers actually could have snuck up and, improved on the records here. Real quickly going through this here, the Atlanta Falcons lost to the Tennessee Titans in Will Levis's debut, who threw 4 touchdowns. I mean, a lot to DeAndre Hopkins. So, when you target a guy like that, it happens. Saints did beat the Indianapolis Colts 38-27. And, the Buccaneers lost to the Bills on Thursday Night Football. So, the Panthers slowly are creeping in. It's not over yet, but the big thing here is the Panthers need to continue to get better. They need to protect Bryce. They need to go and move the ball and everything else. We all know this, but thank goodness there's a win. Whew. If we are not back tomorrow, because I'm sure Steven wants to talk about this, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays, happy Halloween. I'm wearing my Mario shirt right now for it. And all of you with little ones, be safe out there. We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. If you leave us a 5-star review with a comment on Apple Podcasts, we'll read it on the show. Please like and subscribe on YouTube. And thanks for all the Texan fans that listen to our show. We got a lot of critique, but you know what? It boosted our views. And it's also very nice to have a win after that all. So, but we do thank you, and I think you guys are going to be set up really nicely in the future. I really like C.J. Stroud, like Will Anderson. So, but until then, everybody stay safe and keep pounding.